Episode 3.
What's up, brother? Wait. I think it's 4.
3 that's gonna go out there.
Okay, yeah. The first one.
The
doesn't
pilot we keep under wraps.
Do you think we can get the mics working this time?
Hopefully.
Even though we talked about
we
it
have
last
to be the dumbest YouTubers ever, but we're working. For those of you the 5 that watched the last episode, so we did the whole thing, and then we realized that it wasn't plugged in properly.
Yeah.
So the mics were good. Complete user error.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So hopefully you can actually hear us. I mean, you could last time, but
with the echo.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
And I know we're still gonna get some.
Yeah, but
we're gonna get some padding in this room, which is we can't do that in here.
Amazon, I'm sure, has a deal.
They do.
All right.
I'm just saying.
So we discussed earlier, we wanted to talk a little bit about 9/11.
Yeah.
It's the 12th now. Obviously, yesterday, a lot of stuff on the news, on TV. All the documentaries came back up.
Yeah. Sore subject, obviously.
Moment of silence at 8:48 a.m. I don't know if where you were at, observed it. I know at work, I observed it. The family group text messages going out.
Yeah.
Gym buddies, everybody. It's a very sad day. I have seen where, like I read today, somebody said, I wish every day was like September 12th, 01. You saw that one?
I know.
Where everybody cared about each other.
Yeah.
Because now...
Yeah. I know. That comes up a lot. Where everybody it takes, unfortunately, a tragedy in order to bring people together in mass.
Right.
Otherwise, everybody just generally hates each other.
I saw yesterday they were doing... I was watching the 30 for 30 on Dennis Rodman.
Okay.
Which is...
I saw the preview for that. I didn't get to see it.
It was very good.
Well, he was very interesting dude.
It was very good. I think it gives you another perspective on him. It's quick. We love to do this in this country. We judge people without knowing them.
Of course.
Knowing their background. We forget a little thing called perspective.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, remember, when he first came in the league, normal guy, played really hard, wasn't like a superstar or anything like that. As he, the Bulls got really good, this and that. He joins the team. He's known as the rebounding god and, all that stuff. And then really what people talked about was, the hair colors, the tattoos,
right.
The piercings, all the stuff that had nothing to do with basketball. Obviously his outside life of dating, who he dated,
right.
All that stuff.
Right. But so in watching the documentary, they had a quick 60 for 60, I think, or E60, which is the quicker one, where they were talking about HW's first pitch, George Bush's first pitch, in the 01 World Series.
Yes. Okay.
And I'm bringing that up because, it was obviously interesting how they give you the little backstory of when his dad threw a first pitch, kind of bounced it, and he had one in Arizona, kind of bounced it. I'm sorry, not HW. HW was the father, George W. Bush.
Yeah.
But then when George W. Bush did the first pitch in that World Series in 01, about a month after everything had happened, it was a perfect strike, and the whole damn stadium rose to their feet and cheered this guy. And one of the guys commenting on the documentary said, not everybody voted for him. Not everybody, followed his politics. It wasn't about politics. It was about this country coming together.
Right.
And I think it's, like you said, it's sad that we need September 11th to remember what that felt like, because we were already young adults at that point.
Yeah.
But holy crap, if it's not a good reminder every year that put politics aside, respect each other's differences. I don't care about left versus right. I don't care about, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Come together as a whole, man. It was us against whoever was responsible, you know what I'm saying? So that was, I'm looking at it, I was amazed, because I'm like, would that happen now?
And I was just going to say, no, it won't. It will never happen again. Even if there's another, God willing, that doesn't happen,
God forbid,
any type of mass killing or something like that. And you see it actually, honestly, we were getting microcosms of that, because although they flew planes into the building, killed, 3,000 people or whatever the heck it is, it was a lot. We're getting, how often are we getting mass shootings? and it doesn't change anything.
Every week.
And I don't mean it doesn't change anything as far as I understand the whole. I'm not getting into the whole gun control and who wants what. I don't care about that. I mean, I care, but that's not what I'm talking about by nothing's changed. What I mean by nothing changed is nobody comes together. It doesn't really matter. It's just, whatever the next cause is, that's it. But it's not like, hey, thank your first responders. That will never happen again. Cheering everybody that, even the people that did not vote for Bush at the time, you are not going to see that.
Stadium.
Yeah, you won't see that now. It'll never happen again. Which is why I've said in many things.
It's sad, man.
It is. And God, I hate even getting negative on this. Even that where, in our profession, things kind of go in ebbs and flows. So, we're hated, we're loved, we're hated, we're loved. I don't think it's ever going to go back to being loved, ever. That's gone. I don't think it'll ever go back that way again. The trail that we're going, where things just getting worse and worse, it will always get worse. It will never get better. That's just my opinion. I don't think it's ever going to get better. It's just going to continue to get worse.
Or unfortunately, it will change when something.
Yeah, some kind of catastrophe.
Not even a mass shooting, like a major life.
I mean, I would hope that we would come together in something like that. I just don't see it. I'm sorry. We've had the Pulse nightclub shooting in Orlando, which was, I don't know how many people. I forgot how many it was. The 50 people it was at the concert. It just doesn't. Nobody cares because everybody's still. Because at that point, think about it. When that happens, what do? Whoever hates Trump is blaming Trump for it, and whoever hates the NRA is blaming them for it. And it's the right versus left. That's what it turns into. It's not let's come to. It's just, and I get it. Thoughts and prayers don't save everybody, and it's not going to fix anything. I get it, but those are major catastrophes, or I should say, they're major acts of terrorism. That's what they are. They're domestic terrorism. They can say what they want. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And nobody comes together for that. Nobody. Everybody still hates each other. It's blaming everybody. That's all it is. So yes, I get it, and I don't know if it would change if it happened because it was people from a foreign country that did it to us and all that other stuff. I don't know. But that's just my thoughts. That's all. So enough of that crap.
It's much more of a serious, discussion.
Yeah.
When we always try to be kind of lighthearted and
yeah, I don't really.
Man, if you sit and think about it, it's unbelievable because it's like you said. Is it ever going to change?
I don't think so.
Is it ever going to change? I mean, we people. When I say we, the human race. Generally speaking, we look to point fingers. We look to shut people down. We look to put people down.
Yep.
Instead of being supportive, loving. And again, it's like I teach the kids, man. You're not gonna be best friends with everybody in school.
Man, not everyone's gonna like you. You're not gonna like everybody.
You're gonna have teammates that are become your boys. You're gonna have teammates that they're okay. You're gonna have teammates that are straight up assholes.
Yep.
Respect everyone's differences. You don't have to be buddy with everybody, but generally speaking, treat people the way you want to be treated. But it is what it is. But it's one of those days when it's one of those moments. I think everybody. I haven't met a person yet that doesn't remember where they were when that happened.
Yep.
Yeah,
I was home. It was in the morning. I was getting ready for work. I remember.
Where were you working at the time?
At the time, I was working for Alienware, the PC company. Yeah, I remember that. I was living in God. You know what? I don't remember where I was living at the time.
But in Miami.
Yeah. It was in
area?
Yeah, it was in Miami. I can't remember where we were living at the time, but I remember I was getting ready for work because it was like 8:40, whatever that time it was in the morning. I'm looking on TV and I see the building on fire. I'm like, what the heck? Because the volume was down. I'm like, what the heck is going on? So yeah, I remember. I mean, it's
I was a freshman in college, but I was living at home, and my old man had back then in his job he had like 1 day a week where he would work late. So he worked like noon to 8 or whatever it was, and it was that day. So he was home, I was home. I get up, I'm ready to go. My first semester at the community college.
It was Miami Lakes.
Miami Lakes,
where you
living?
Yeah.
Sorry. And so the news is on. We see the first one, and it was one of those things where first things like that has to be an accident.
Yeah, you're like
But then you start thinking. I mean, I'm 19 at the time, and I get in with my old man, and I'm like thinking, got to be an accident. But what did the pilot fall asleep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Why are they flying that low? And
right, we would be nowhere near that. When the second one comes, I mean,
Yeah,
forget
you know.
accident, you knew.
yeah. You're like, that's got to be a terrorist act.
And then all I remember after that, I don't know, it was about a 20-minute drive to school, and being in history class, and the professor talking about our world will never be the same, all that stuff, and everybody was in shock. Those of us that showed up, and then at the time I was working after school at an elementary school doing like aftercare.
Yeah.
So I would start like at 1:30 after my morning classes, and school lets out at 2. And I remember the hysteria. Mind you, we were South Florida,
Yeah.
but the line of cars went down blocks of people hysterical trying to just get their kids and go home, because it was the 2 towers there. Then it was
The Pentagon.
the Pentagon.
That one, and then the one I think was Virginia. Is that the plane that ended up just hitting in the field where it never actually made it? Where
Right.
it was going to the White House, I think.
So nobody knew where the next one was.
Yeah. You thought there was more.
And I just remember that. I remember just hysteria, because it was something at the time. We live in a very comfortable, safe America.
Yep.
Y'all can't attack us.
Yeah.
We're safe. And that was like,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but
maybe
it changed,
not.
yeah, it changed everything. Yeah.
You know.
You're absolutely right about that. And then seeing the, because obviously the coverage continued, and then you see when the building started coming down. I was like, holy cow, man.
I watched, as a matter of fact, last night, because again, they were playing these documentaries late at night. I had a long day yesterday, and so I didn't last long in bed watching TV, but I put to record 2 of them. And one would think, why would you want to see those things? Like,
Yeah,
you've seen it. But I think, like anything unpleasant and negative and sad or that comes through your life, I think part of it is it's good to remember those things.
Yeah.
It keeps things in perspective. I don't want to get comfortable. I don't want to get spoiled. I don't want to take for granted saying bye to my family every
Right.
day, or talking to my parents or whatever. I want to appreciate those things, because you ain't promised tomorrow. I'm not promised tonight. You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
And not to get overly dramatic, but part of why we do this, we discussed it many times. I'm 37 years old, and I got like this midlife maybe, or like, thing going on where I started taking more pictures. I started, I wanted to do this to, maybe the grandkids one day care about what I felt about whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know
But
exactly.
wanting to leave like a trail,
Yeah.
because there's just so much sad shit going on every day.
Mm-hmm.
Our jobs put us at risk every day,
Yeah.
and I want to leave something behind, man.
Yeah.
And I don't want to count on being 50 and 60 one day and then start trying to leave stuff behind.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Um,
I think you were already doing it, just didn't realize it. If you think about it, I mean, everything you're doing with your son regarding the sports he plays, and everything that you guys do as a family, a lot of that stuff is documented. I don't think you realize that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Obviously, there's nothing wrong with doing more. Just saying, everything now is digital. Photos are on the phone, so it's just much easier. Back then, phones didn't do that kind of stuff. Like, you weren't taking pictures with phones.
well, yeah, and that's one thing good about, and I don't have social media, but my wife does, and that's one thing that's
it is a good thing.
good, because you're taking more pictures. You're doing more, where
Exactly.
before, I mean, you had your camera, you had to go take it somewhere to get,
Yeah. Jeez,
Um,
man, that was filming.
Yeah.
And then the problem is you didn't even know if anything came out good until you took it over there, and then they called you like 3 days later to come look at it. You didn't even know if you had anything good on the film.
You couldn't edit anything and all that.
Couldn't
Although
you?
I'm still kind of like filter free since '93.
There you go.
That's not true. I like the vivid one. I always just like stuff brighter.
Yeah, but that's a little different. That's
different.
color.
That's color.
That's just a color.
Yeah.
And I get that.
But we can be here all day talking about these young ladies that are, and it's sad, dude, because it's causing like suicide in teenage girls, man, because
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
you're putting all these pictures and you're filtering up your face and you ain't got acne, but then you got to go to school with acne the next day. You know what I mean? And here's who I am.
Well, that's the problem.
What you saw last night
People
on
posting
Insta
that,
wasn't legit.
I don't understand, because eventually people are gonna see the real you anyway. So I don't understand. Like, I mean, I get it, but I don't get it because eventually the truth's gonna come out anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then the book, I don't know. It just, I get it. But yeah, so a lot of that stuff wasn't even around. There was no Facebook. There wasn't even, there wasn't. Maybe MySpace was around at the time. I forgot the year exactly.
I don't think
But
yet.
right, but
maybe
like,
it
there's
was
no
starting out.
Right, but there's no Instagram.
Holy
So,
crap,
none of
we're
that stuff.
dating ourselves.
Yeah, I know, right? So there's none of that stuff. So yeah, things change. Now we're walking around with 4K cameras in your pocket, really, so that can do video and photos, and then immediate editing, immediate upload, like everything. You can go live from them. It's stuff that just wasn't possible before. So things just
By the end of tonight, I would have had this whole video and clips up on YouTube.
Right.
If you said that back in the day, what? You
Yeah,
had to have
right.
a camcorder. You had to go take the camcorder, make sure the battery was charged, get the little tape,
Yep.
and do all that stuff.
No.
So it's like I always tell the kids, man, y'all walking around with a computer in your pocket.
Yeah, it's true. Which is also why.
Don't ask any questions that you can take out and ask Google.
Well, there you go. There was no Google back then either. so-
Exactly.
Yeah.
You remember having to do like book reports and projects? Having to go to
Jesus.
the actual library?
Yeah, I remember that.
Tell the young lady
what
that-
was it? The Dewey Decimal System, where you actually had to. Oh my God! Just
Like
to
where
look
they
up
give you the number for the book, it's like
And then, of course-
108.2573.
Yeah. And if you didn't go check it out immediately, it was gone by the time we got there because
Yeah.
they assigned the same book to everybody in the class, and there's
Yeah.
only so many libraries, so it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get it. So
So-
now it's a lot different. Yeah, of course things are a lot easier. Kidding me? You just didn't have the, access to that kind of information. Encyclopedias, the great source of information. But if anything was updated, you
Britannica.
had to wait. You had to wait for the next version.
Britannica was the shit. Bro.
Yeah, man.
Like anything you needed to know. Like
Yeah.
it's like it's Google now. You know what I'm saying? But back then,
Yeah.
Britannica was. I remember winning a spelling bee for like the school, and then I'm going to compete against other people. And the I don't know why at 10 years old I cared about that. Grand prize was a Britannica encyclopedia. Spoilers, I freaking lost, but
You didn't get the
I wanted it.
whole set.
I wanted
remember
it.
them advertising those sets. Those things were super expensive.
I wanted it.
They were supposed to be. I mean, they were good, obviously.
Yeah.
But even now you got to figure what's the even libraries have had to change the way they do things because who the hell people are not going to be going to libraries generally for book reports anymore. There's just no need. You can get anything you're looking for through your phone or iPad or computer. It just
Yeah.
is, so I mean things have changed, so it's just a lot different now. I'm sure if something like 9/11 happened now, you would have seen cell phone video would have came out from like inside the building, inside the plane, like crazy stuff. People would have been live streaming.
It's crazy to think about because even without that, you still have a lot of video, dude.
You do.
Holy crap, man!
You do?
It's that thing
Yeah.
breaks my heart. And then the phone calls, like they.
Oh, you mean from calling? Yeah, where they were on the plane.
Oh
Yeah.
my
I know.
god, bro! Like
I know.
there was one where the guy called his wife and he was super calm, dude. Like super chill. Like if this is it, live a happy life. You imagine that you go to work one day and you're like,
I can't. I know that just.
we gotta let's move it along.
All right, we're going down this rabbit hole that we're gonna just climb out of because like
From one to another, because I
Jesus.
feel like we have to at least address a little bit. I thought we were done with Antonio Brown, bro. And then this crap.
I
comes
did.
out.
I thought we were done.
Then this crap
Yeah.
comes out.
The
Be very careful what we say. We're gonna lose 3 people. Can I just say, everybody, national media, sports people, celebrities, they're so smart.
Yeah, of course.
Discrediting this young lady,
Pretty immediate.
GFY, bro.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
If you don't know what that is, Google.
I know exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Okay?
I know exactly.
Because it's not a convenient time. Or I say how convenient. What do you mean how convenient? When is she supposed to come out?
Yeah.
When would you like her to come out?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, well, if let's say he doesn't go through his stupid fiasco of frozen feet and helmet gate and all the other crap that he was doing, and he was just being a good little boy and playing for the Raiders, and then she comes out with it, do they discredit her immediately again? I mean, is it because he's had all the issues and now? Listen, could she be lying? Sure, I don't know, but you can't automatically assume she's lying Just like you can't automatically assume he's telling the truth. Yes, people exploit athletes.
Let the investigation take its
Exactly.
course.
And yes, athletes exploit, get exploited all the time because people just make claims because they
take
want money,
advantage.
and I get it.
And we can't begin to imagine how unfortunate that is for them when they are in
Right.
the right and they're getting
Absolutely.
falsely accused
Absolutely.
over and over and over again.
Hopefully, because this is, again, this is going back. That's the problem. I don't know how much evidence there's going to be to prove one way or the other. So I don't know. I don't really know what to think of it. Other than I hope to God it's not true. For his sake. Because he's already really jacked himself up to
What
begin
about
with.
for her sake?
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm
What
saying.
does she got to deal with?
That's what I'm saying.
And she's a college grad. I mean, not that that should matter what the victim's credentials are, but she's a college grad, a business owner, from what I read. Why would you put your name out there
Oh, I agree.
to later that they find out that you were not telling the truth? Why would you do that?
I agree. And the thing
So
is,
that makes me kind of wonder, like,
well, it makes you wonder. And the problem
it's
is,
not out
we've
of the
seen-
realm of possibility of athletes
Of course.
thinking they can do whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Of course. And the thing is, recently we have seen a couple cases where it has gone both ways. Where, well, obviously you can go back some, and remember Ben, Roethlisberger was accused, and I think that all got dropped, where nothing ended up happening with that. So you don't really know what happened there. Reuben Foster, he got into domestic issues at the time, and then it turns out, then she turns around and says, no, it didn't happen. So you're not really, sure again. Tyreek Hill, same thing.
Yeah.
Got on video, apparently the kid's arm's broken. Then they investigate, nothing gets done. He gets put right back into the league. Did it happen? Maybe. I really don't know. And then keep going. Kareem Hunt, well, you saw him on video whooping the hell out of the girl, kicking her and all that other stuff. So he did really get hurt. But you see what I'm saying? Like, it's sometimes you see where they turn around and they recant.
I got zero respect for dudes like that.
I absolutely agree.
One of the things my old man taught me when I was getting at an age where I was gonna start to date, and 5 years old was amazing. But you know what I'm saying? No, but I mean, when I'm a teenager or whatever, and part of just teaching me how to be a man, he told me, a woman may at some point get you so upset that you want to hit her, but you don't ever put your hands on a girl, ever. You see these videos, this thing coming out, I think it was the Kareem Hunt one. No respect for you, bro.
Well, no, of course, and that's you see that a lot, especially is it MLB guy? Who was the player they got on video? He was coming as soon as he came into the stairwell. You had to have seen this. He came into the stairwell. It was like during spring training or something, and I think it wasn't this year. It was the year before.
A baseball player?
Yes.
Committing a crime?
Yeah.
Against
he
a woman?
whooped the hell out of her.
Calm down, buddy.
Yeah. I mean, he ended up, and of course, obviously, he ended
Like
up,
recently?
I would say, it happened last season, not this season.
Damn, now I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, and he did it once they got out of the view of everybody, but they didn't know there was cameras inside the stairwell.
Cameras everywhere, bro.
I know.
There's cameras.
You gotta
everywhere.
assume that.
How about you just don't hit freaking girl? How about
I agree.
Jesus Christ.
I know, but it happens a lot, man, for whatever reason. But again, we're not talking about just physical. She's talking about sexual assault and things like that. So obviously that makes it even worse.
You got to let the investigation take its course.
Yeah. And that's why when I say that I hope for his sake that it's not, I don't mean that I hope not for her as well. But what I mean is, hopefully it didn't happen, because number one, he's really ruined. And number two, so is she. You know what I'm saying? I would almost hope that I would rather her just be lying about it and her not
So that
suffer.
her psyche is,
yeah,
you know what I'm
exactly.
saying?
And that she really didn't suffer through this. She's just either they had because apparently they had some type of relationship before, which I can believe if that's the case. Is this a revenge type of thing? To get back at him, you don't know. So I don't know. But anyway, he's back in now. They're talking about putting him on the commissioner's exempt list, where he's basically pulled off the roster and kind of sitting in limbo until they figure out what's going on. And honestly, he's probably going to have to be, because the Patriots can't move forward until they figure out what's going on. Obviously, they're going to look like idiots, and they know that. So.
And then we also know that with those kind of cases, a lot of your evidence,
yeah, that's
it's going to get wiped out pretty soon. So you're talking about years later.
That's the problem. You're talking about something.
How do
that
we
happened.
prove that now?
Exactly. And that's the thing. If he denies it, she's claiming it. You don't have any physical evidence. Not like you're going to get DNA unless somehow she saved it. Clinton. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of hard to say, but yes.
The whole thing's just unfortunate, man. It's just
Yeah.
unfortunate, dude. And I keep thinking about when stuff like this happens, or an athlete gets, in trouble, or Aaron Hernandez and all, and I'm like, if you took that person,
That was nuts.
you took that person and go back when they were 18, 19 and said, hey, listen, you're gonna have the opportunity to play in the NFL,
Yep.
or the MLB, or the NBA. Could you not fuck it up?
Yeah. I agree.
I'll be on my best behavior.
I'm telling you.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
That's what I'm saying. We need to remember where we came from.
Yeah.
Because if you remember where you came from, you're not going to make those kind of mistakes, dude.
Yeah. They're definitely going to be doing some kind
Would you wear a helmet? Whatever helmet they told you to wear, I would wear a brick on my head
Of
to play in the
man.
NFL.
Are you kidding me?
It says
Yeah. Listen, they're
any
going to be
19-year-old right now trying to make it or whatever. Right now, there's talking about the Dennis Rodman documentary. Right now, there's a 19-year-old, 20-year-old, 21-year-old who in high school didn't work out for them for whatever reason, politics, didn't have the size, the strength, the grades, whatever.
Yeah.
Right now, that are trying to just earn a chance at a community college or a small college or something like that. Right now. And if you took that person and you said, listen, I give you the opportunity, but you gotta be in your best behavior. They would never give you a problem.
Yeah, it shouldn't be hard. Really.
Shouldn't be hard. It's like, I always see with celebrities. Oh, paparazzi doesn't. There's some major celebrities never come out on the never in the tabloids and all that stuff.
Yeah.
They choose not to live where paparazzi's right outside
Yeah,
waiting for you
I
every
know.
day, and you want to be in the spotlight to an extent.
Exactly. And not to mention, it goes with the territory. If you're somebody big, they're going to follow you around if they can. They're going to catch you on a beach somewhere and not so positive angle or something, and then that's going to get blasted out social media and then everywhere like that, and you're going to get body shamed and all that good stuff. But yeah, as far as they go, it comes with the territory. I mean, it really does. And I know a lot of these athletes, although they don't want to and say I'm not a role model, unfortunately,
Charles Barkley,
it comes with
circa 1993.
Yeah, I'm sorry, it comes with it. It's not that you want to be, it's just that's kind of what ends up happening. Because when you get the fans, especially the young fans, they look up to you and then so on and so on. So, it's the way it goes. And you do have some good ones, and even certain people like LeBron James, who he always gets a ton of crap, but the guy's legitly good. A legit
But again, some of that, and I'm not upset anymore that he left the Heat.
Oh, I don't care about any of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I mean, but some of the, you get what I'm saying? I feel like some of the attention, like you're asking for it. I will always give LeBron James credit for this. Whether I don't agree with certain things he may say or do, or like I said, like you want to be left alone, you want to be private, but then you're putting stuff out there all the time that is going to cause attention.
Yeah.
Like you try to trademark Taco Tuesdays.
Yes.
That's not a guy that doesn't want attention. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, and that
and you've been the
respect-
chosen one since you were 12.
Yeah.
I get it. But I will always give him credit for he never report that he hit his girl.
That's what I'm saying.
Never drunk driving.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean by that. That's what I mean by
Never pointed a
that.
gun at somebody in a nightclub. Like never got in trouble. Never nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I mean by that. I'm not worried about what he says or what team he signs with. I don't care about any of that stuff. Because the thing is, really, it's his choice.
yeah.
If he's out, he's a
That
professional,
part, yeah.
he can sign
That
whoever
part,
he wants. But yeah. And yes, does he want the attention? Does he like it? But he's used to it. He's had it for his whole life, pretty much.
Yeah.
So and same thing. I don't think there was anything wrong with there. People are saying something about him being, which I know you can, you can get with
whole
this
dad thing?
Saying which is ridiculous. I mean, are you kidding me?
You want my take on that? I think the issue for me, or for a lot of people, was get as hype as you want to get.
Mm-hmm.
But if John Doe, who's a dad on that team as well, can't be on the court, because that's already you're pushing it a little bit. Okay.
Oh, I know what you're saying.
then that's a problem. Okay, let's take it
Yeah.
to my boy plays baseball. Okay, and years ago, I was the coach of a team, and Hanley Ramirez's son was on the team.
Yep.
Okay, you remember that?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, super nice guy, by the way. I think very misunderstood.
Yeah.
Okay, and we have the Marlins Red Sox connection, but super nice guy and all that. But if his kid did something spectacular in the game, his kid was really good. He would get excited, but he's not getting on the field because this is not appropriate.
Right.
Because if I'm not gonna get on the field, like, I think that's where the issue is. Like, Hanley Ramirez shouldn't be able to get on the field and celebrate because he's Hanley Ramirez.
Right. Even though that's kind of how this country is with pretty much everything. I'm not saying it's right. What I'm saying is the realization
But
of
I think
it
that
is,
was the issue
it's
for
the
a lot of
truth.
people.
Yeah, and I get it.
Be hype all you want. Be the loudest.
Yeah.
You know.
I know.
I am far from the quietest in the stands.
Yeah. No, yeah.
You know what
Listen,
I'm
I
saying?
get it.
But within rules and regulations, and,
There is.
and respect for the game, and respect what you know what I'm saying. Because
Yeah. No,
put it this way.
I agree with that.
Can LeBron James make a great play and Lil Bronny come on the court and be like, yeah? It's not gonna go so well.
No, it's not. But
Just stay behind the line.
yeah. No, listen.
Go crazy.
You
know what I'm saying?
I agree. I just unfortunately people are treated differently.
Yeah,
you
no,
know
he don't bother me none. And
But no,
and,
I was just
and obviously
pointing
down
out-
here we got spoiled with Dwayne Wade. Just you know,
Yeah.
he really was has been a
Yeah,
model
he's- that's a-
citizen.
yeah, that's
and
another one. Yeah, he's
dude that
awesome.
you look at him and you're like if you're from this area, I don't care if you play basketball or not, like you want your kids to look at him as a celebrity and be like, that dude did it right, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
You know, fighting for custody for his kids, and just again, never any kind of trouble,
Yeah.
legally or anything like that.
Yep.
Only thing you heard about him legally was a dad fighting for custody
Yeah, but
of
that's-
his boys.
Yeah, but that's something different. That's not.
It's a great difference.
Right, absolutely.
How many dads are doing that?
Yeah. Oh
know what
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah. Of course. I mean, listen, I'm not. Yeah, and again, it's not that I was like, hey, LeBron should be able to do that. It's just because of who he is, he's going to be able to do
Yeah.
that. That's all my point was saying. And yeah, it's not that it's right because hey, everybody doesn't. Unfortunately, you know, I'm just saying it's not everything's not equal.
But again, I mean, when you and again, I don't want to make it seem like, oh my God, this idiot. No, I love because again, we're great dads, not for nothing. So we're fans of great dads. I think he's a great dad.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think he's a great dad. I think that he, you know what I'm saying? And how many times, I mean, you have coached and you've played and I've coached and I've played one of my biggest pet peeves are like shit parents, bro. Like
Yeah, and it's
shit
like, yeah, and
parents,
let me
like-
tell you something.
And I'm so to the extreme. And we're going to talk baseball. If you even go to every game, check this out, how tough I am on parents, okay? You go to every game.
Yeah.
You probably go to every practice. But you sit your butt down and you don't ask for help. If the coach asks for help, I'm on your ass, bro. Like, I don't think, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
because, and we had that once where and again, I'm not going to mention names, but because you know what it is to volunteer your time and
Yes.
you know, I got a picture up there of Frank's basketball team when he played basketball, and there I am, assistant coach.
Yeah.
Not a basketball guy. I mean, I
Right.
played for fun, but I'm not a basketball guy. But the poor head coach was by himself in the first meeting. You know, he was a pastor, super nice guy, and he was like, you know, of the 6, 7, 8 dads that are here, anybody willing to help me out? You don't have to know a lot. Just help with drills. I'll tell you what to do,
Sure,
and
of
this and that.
course.
And nobody,
Yeah.
but me, I was like, whatever you need, coach.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I did it for soccer.
Yeah,
I don't know anything
we
about
don't know about
soccer.
soccer, but we're there in case you need it. I can't stand deadbeat dads, man. I can't stand, you know, I've had parents, because I know a lot of you know, in the area, the kids that since they're little and it's years later, and I've had straight up you know, cases where I tell the dad, oh, you know, your dad doesn't live here, or do you get to see your dad since your mom
Right.
and him got divorced? My mom and dad are not divorced. Dad's just tired. He doesn't come because he's tired from work.
Yeah.
You serious, bro?
Yeah, I get it. I've seen it. I know. We saw the same thing when we take him to, first we were doing t-ball and then doing soccer and stuff like that. You do see that. Because it's always, because you get to know other parents, of course.
Of course.
So you get to see each other, and then, you kind of get to know people where they tell, and you kind of get little snippets of what is going on.
I don't think I'm friends with any shit parents, to be honest with you. That for me is like, it's so ugly, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to associate myself with you.
I get it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you wouldn't draw my attention to want to hang out with you or be friends with you if you're a piece of shit dad or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, seriously, dude. Like,
no, I agree.
Going back for the third time about the Dennis Rodman thing, I didn't know he didn't have his dad growing up. He didn't meet his dad until the 90s, bro. Where his dad starts showing up in games. Talking about, that's my son. Are you kidding me, bro?
Of course.
His dad started showing up to the games, bro. And his people would be like, hey, your dad's over there with like ESPN reporters. And he was like, what? Yeah. I feel for the guy. When you watch this, I don't want to see that type of stuff. I don't want to spoil it for you because I want you to watch it. But I feel for the dude because the way he grew up and the void that he had, and he filled it in ways maybe you and I wouldn't, but
right. No, obviously, but I mean, which is he was definitely a different dude. He was definitely different.
But again, man, like perspective, I always tell people like, not everybody was blessed to grow up the way I grew up. We had our struggles. Right.
Well, not everyone has
whatever, but
not everybody has
compared to other people.
Yeah, not everyone has mom and dad. We see it all the time. I know. Yeah, it does make a difference.
They don't have a mom, don't have a dad. There's a lot that I deal with every day. They don't have neither.
Yeah,
they're foster kids, and now they're pregnant, and the dad lives somewhere. The baby daddy lives somewhere else.
Yeah,
the baby daddy is much older.
Yep. Oh yeah, and so there's no guidance. So yeah, there's always something behind why someone's doing the way they're doing, the direction they're going, everything about them, character, all that stuff.
And that's why again, and
I've also seen someone that has a perfectly normal home life, mom, dad, and everything, and still a complete fuck up.
Yeah,
it happens. So
and I'm a big believer that you despite your hardships, and again your perspective, you have to put yourself in other people's shoes, but I don't think when you're born into a hardship, your life is over. It's predetermined. I still think that you.
Well, yeah, we've seen many instances.
Start. We just talked about Dwayne Wade.
Yeah. We've seen many instances where people come out of that.
But you have to want it for yourself.
Of course. You have many people come out of that stuff. Frank Gore was raised by his mom, who I know was going through a dialysis basically her entire freaking life since that I even knew about Frank Gore, where he was just taking care of her. She ends up passing, but Frank is, obviously, when you hear him talk and you never heard him get in trouble. He's super respectful with everybody. Like you could, even as an athlete, and has been in the NFL for many years. Completely successful. Could end up in the Hall of Fame just from longevity and stuff. He did have some crazy numbers.
Yeah.
So yeah, and just like the point being is that you can have even a single mom raising. Doesn't mean you're going to be completely done. Yeah. I mean, it's just it all depends on the person, because ultimately you're still responsible for your actions. I mean, ultimately,
of course.
So that's I know that's lost on everything, where everybody blames everybody for everything. It's the movies, it's the video games, it's this, it's that, it's all that stuff. No,
we won't go into
exactly. But I'm just saying, everyone, when stuff happens, there's always that's the reason, instead of just they fucked up and they're responsible.
And again, something I try to enforce with the kids. I'm sure with your boy you do that. Stop doing that all the time.
Yeah.
Turn that bad boy around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I tell him, you messed up. It's okay. Everybody calm down. You're going to mess up. I mess up every day of my life.
Yeah. Yeah, we all do.
But stop doing that. Mm-hmm. Take responsibility for your actions. Apologize. Move on.
Yeah. Boy, that apology is hard to come by. I'm just saying, most people have really struggled.
You know what, man?
It's hard for people
to. As hard-headed as I am,
I know.
I'm a pretty quick.
Yeah, me too.
I'm pretty quick to apologize, man. If I'm wrong,
absolutely. Listen, I'm all over it, but yeah, if I'm wrong, I'll say.
But then let me know that you're wrong and you don't want to apologize.
Yeah.
we gonna have a problem.
It's a problem.
Dude, this episode's been a little bit of a downer.
Yeah, what the hell? Why do we go so negative? Just because we started
September
with 9/11?
11th got me, you
Jesus,
know.
man.
And then, did you see what happened to Christian Yelich?
Yeah,
we
man.
got to talk
Yeah.
a little. I mean, we're continuing the path of being a downer, but now down, you know,
Yeah,
being
like
a downer
dude,
about baseball.
You're like, hey, baseball. Well, yeah, but this guy
Whoa.
got hurt. Season ending. Yeah.
Well, because I like him so much, man. I know, you know, he didn't want to be part of a disaster here in Miami. There's worse things that, you know, I can fault you for.
I get it.
Okay?
Yeah.
But he's another good dude, man. He's a good dude. He puts in work. I show my kid videos of him working out and doing stuff, and just a nice kid, man. And to see him get hurt like that, and of course it had to happen here.
Of course.
He must be like, Jesus Christ, something comes out of this Miami
know,
place, man.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? So he's out for the year.
You know,
no
that-
surgery.
You know that, which is good. But that type of stuff. I mean, look at Trout. You're like, man, you know, he's struggled on this, and like, obviously he puts up crazy numbers, best player in the MLB, but he plays on a team that really it's just him, and you know, same thing. He struggled with you know, injuries.
Yeah.
So you're like, man, you know, you're blessed with so much talent and all that stuff, and it happens to people.
Yeah.
Sometimes they just can't get off the ground. Some people are just, you know, for whatever reason. Yeah, it was just that's a tough break, man. That's like when. You know, Stanton's having a great year. This is a couple years back, and then gets hit in the jaw, breaks the jaw, and he's done for that.
He would have won MVP that year.
That's what I'm
He
saying.
would have won
And
MVP
that's-
that year.
and
God
that's-
knows he hasn't played
Yes.
like at all this year. Dude.
Right, but see, that's what I'm saying.
Holy moly.
And that's another thing. See, he's another one that's got all the talent in the world. He struggled with
29
health.
years old.
Yeah.
And I looked at his numbers the other day, and I calculated. We're not gonna pretend he was gonna play 162 games every season, but I said this guy, let's say 150 games a year.
Yep.
And I did the numbers, how many games he missed. Well over like 300. So I said, give him two more seasons.
Almost, I was going to say, almost like 2 seasons worth of games.
Give him 2 seasons of just 30 home runs. He's damn near close to 400 at that point. At 29 years, he's over 300.
Yeah.
Okay, like well over 300. So I think he'll still be all right, and if he can rebound from this injury. But
Yeah, that's a
it's a bump. The Yankees
It
have
is.
been rolling and don't, you know, I know you don't want to hear about them doing
well, yeah, but listen, like we said before a couple
it
episodes
is
ago,
what it is.
we can't win the World Series every year. I mean,
Yeah.
hey, we just won it. We could let the dust settle. It's just, it is what it is. You know, quite honestly, the pressure is on the Yankees because you have that, just like the Red Sox last year. You have that payroll. You're tearing up the league. You don't win it. That's a failure.
And I felt like
it is.
they were
It's a failure.
rebuilding like 2 years ago. They were rebuilding, and they
Yeah. Well, because they can just buy and buy and buy. Same thing. Red Sox do it. They load up. Listen, the large market teams, the Dodgers, the Yankees, the Red Sox, they can load up on these teams easily because they have the money to do it. The market, you know, they have the cap space to do it. They pump these teams full of these insane players, and then you put a product out. So within a year or two, you can completely turn the franchise around to where you have even the Red Sox have done it many times, have a horrible season, and the next year they'll win the division, having the best record in the majors, and then winning the World Series. And then literally with the same roster, for the most part, we'll have a down year. Some guys are still having stellar seasons.
Yeah.
But you've got, unfortunately, when you've got the star pitcher come out and start like 0-8 or 0-7, you're not going to win, because especially when you have a team like the Yankees, they're going to, just like the Red Sox last year, they were winning, both of them, back and forth. No one would really give, and at one point, the Yankees fell just a little bit, and the Red Sox continued to win. But yeah, the thing was the same thing. I said it last year. If you get into the playoffs, you're one and done, huge disappointment. If you get to the World Series and you don't win it, it's a disappointment because you're expecting that. So yeah, I'm expecting them to win the World Series. It's like the Patriots of the majors right now. You're thinking they're going to win. They're the powerhouse. But 9 out of 10
from the same area. How convenient.
Yeah, but listen, 9 out of 10, it doesn't happen that way.
Yeah.
The number 1 seed generally doesn't win it. It's just the
Who's
way
hot
it
at
is.
the right time.
It's all it
you
is.
don't got to tell me. 97 and 03,
There you
we
go.
were not expected to win anything, and we got hot at the right time. And
Yeah,
that was
yeah, and
that.
that's what I'm saying.
Dude,
Which
I
is-
can't sit still,
which is,
man.
I know. Which is the great thing about sports.
I got
playoffs-
my own problems.
You're like, I know you're back. I'm gonna get that fixed, man. I'm gonna get a rolling pin.
I'm gonna be
and I'm
the
gonna bend you over
worst
on the counter. We're just gonna beat
Old
the hell out of your
guy
back.
ever, man. 4 days, no activity, and I am miserable.
Maybe we'll get a mini steamroller and just right over your back, straighten it out.
I gotta do more stretching, I guess. I'm looking into yoga. I don't know, dude. Whatever's gonna make, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I mentioned it the other day in one of my rants. I was pretty upset because I'm like every morning I wake up, I'm like, oh, is it gonna feel better? It's a simple muscle strain, but it feels like I told you, it feels like a mild. It's not excruciating pain. It's just uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's like a mild cramp.
And it's just annoying because it
that doesn't go away. So every morning I'm like, it's the same thing, dude. Like, you know, it doesn't feel any better than last night. And I was in a bit of a rant, and I'm like, of course, if you know, people who don't do anything, they're overweight, they're unhealthy, but they feel amazing every day. They don't. But me, that like, you know, people that do stuff, it's a grind to be healthier, to look better, but we got aches and we got pains and we're sore. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, the trade-off, I guess, is worth it. I'm just 4 days and I'm like miserable. I'm not a good injury. Like, I'm not a good injured person, man.
I know. Trust me, it's almost like the plague where I'm like, stay away from me because I don't want to catch that.
Right. Right.
So, I get it, man.
We know it all too well.
I know. Listen, I've battled through many pinched nerves, all kinds of stuff. It lays me up for months. Sometimes where it's just not right. It sucks. So when I'm not injured, I'm happy.
Right.
But I know I've been there. So, you know, it'll work itself out,
and as we get older, we got to get smarter.
Yeah.
Never thought, like I said, I'd be looking into yoga. But if that's what I got to do.
Yeah, because after a while, you're starting to look into anything that'll help you. And
anything.
Anything. You don't care what it is. You're like experimental, herbal, anything.
And our issue always is time.
Yeah.
Time. What time now? I'm going to have to wake up at 3 in the morning now to do yoga on YouTube in the living room. That's why I haven't gone to the doctor, because that always cracks me up. And it's gotten with age, and, you know, sometimes I could be a little cranky where I'm like, thanks, doc, appreciate it. That was $50 I'll never get back. You told me to rest and ice every day. Yeah. And then they gave you these absurd recommendations like ice it 6 times a day for 15 to 20 minutes every day. Like, oh, I don't have a job. I don't have kids.
I know. They're easy to say.
That's fine. No, only 6 times a day?
Stop it, bro. Stop
for 20 minutes?
Yeah, you're like, bro.
I got
it.
I know. I got it. I'll take care of it.
I'll do it that many times a day.
Jesus
shut up.
Christ.
I know.
At least we're in there with some jokes. This has been a downer, but again, not to, you know, and all jokes aside, it's corny, it sounds like whatever, but we really should, going back to the whole, we should really remember how we felt September 12th, 2001.
Yeah. Well, there's a handful of us that still do. Obviously, that I'm exaggerating. There's more than that, but yeah.
We got to be positive, man. Go out there every day and try to, you know, we both in our jobs and our positions, you know, where they say there's no 2 days alike and all that good stuff. But sometimes we get kind of like,
it gets monotonous. I don't care what anybody says. It does.
And you know, I kind of told myself a while ago, like, when it gets like that, go out of your way and find somebody else that you can help.
Yeah.
Go out of your way and find one of these lost kids, man, that's just looking for guidance and help them.
Yep.
Just today I sat down with a young lady, you know, and it sucks and it breaks my heart. I'm ending it with more sad stuff, but 17 years old, and I see in her a world of potential, man. Okay? And she sees her life is done. She's with a dude that she doesn't really want to be with. She has little feelings for him, but he's already beginning signs of abuse, wants to control her. Well, just, you know, you go home with your mom and she'll help you. Mom's an addict.
Oh.
Doesn't want to be home.
Yeah.
And I'm very, like you, very straightforward, very direct, very honest. And I said, listen, I don't want to get personal more than what you're telling me, but I gotta say it, do not get pregnant under any circumstance. I will help you. She's interested in the military. I said, I will call a recruiter tomorrow.
I was gonna say, considering her situation,
I will
it might
sit
be a
down
good thing.
I would sit in the meeting with you, with the recruiter, come up with questions, come up with concerns.
Yeah.
I will sit with you because your mom's not going to show up, and we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
If it's not what you think it's going to be, or after you have
just
you ask
don't do
your
it.
questions, then we'll think of another route.
Yeah.
But you're not lost. You got a chance to turn this around,
Yeah.
but you got to make smart decisions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely,
So,
bro. Yeah.
I'm gonna cry soon if we
Yeah,
don't
bro.
end this.
Bro.
So,
Done, bro. Jesus.
if I haven't told